Welcome. Hashtag The Versa Show is part of an entertainment podcast that exercises our freedom of speech. Our conversations, opinions, debate on a certain topic is not to offend anyone in any source. For that being said, enjoy the show. Yo, what's happening, ladies and gentlemen? What is happening? And welcome to another special edition here on Hashtag The Versa Show. And of course, you already know who I am. I am your host, the one that you already vote, The Versa. And I thank you guys so much for viewing this podcast right now in this episode. And you should already know these three things. These three best things. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and you press that bell at the same time. Oh man, I just feel so drained right now. I just finished getting back from a photo shoot. And it was really fun. It was this time it was me and Yanni Levy. And it was just us just having a great time, having a blast. So I just want to give Yanni a big shout out. I didn't even turn on my little light up scarf for you guys. Anyway, I just want to thank Yanni once again, man, for giving his time to do the photo shoot. Make sure that we had a great time, a good time, and which we did. We had a blast, you know. And it was between Mike Hansen and Yanni Levy. It was between them two who got the best photo shoot, who did the best shots of my photos. And I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna post that video up for you guys. I did a photo shoot with Mike and I did a photo shoot with Yanni. I videotaped both of them, so I'll make sure you guys be the take on it, on which one is the best photo shoot that you guys think is the best edited quality that I ever did or they ever did. So make sure you guys have fun with that. I know it's been a while since I've been on the show, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm here. And there's so much to talk about. I mean, there's so many things I really want to get into. So let me just cue this music down, y'all. I gotta cue the music. I gotta cue it for a few seconds. Now, everybody is talking about Jada and Will. Jada Pinkett Smith. Jada Pinkett Smith. Oh my God. Where do I start, ladies and gentlemen? Where do I start with Jada Pinkett Smith? Because everybody's talking about her. Everybody. Her new book I think it's out already. I believe it's out already, her new book. If you are a reader, make sure you go out and get her book. It sounds pretty interesting. Very interesting. She goes into a lot of detail, a lot of clues and a lot of details when it comes to her relationship. So where do I start with Jada, ladies and gentlemen? When she talked about Tupac, we're going to get to the whole Keefe D and Tupac situation. We're going to get into that, but I want to just clarify something when she talked about Tupac Shakur, right? And I already knew, I know this already. I've been had this in my thought when her and Will wasn't going through the whole entire relationship together. The first thing I said to myself was, she's still in love with Tupac. She still has feelings for Tupac. I mean, come on. And for her to disrespect Will Smith, like I said, it's going to be in her new book, disrespecting Will Smith. And now all of a sudden, I don't know if you guys heard the news that they are trying to fix their marriage. If I was Will Smith, I would not even try to fix this marriage at all. I wouldn't. Why? Crosses the line when you sleep with your son's friend. To me, that's a line crossing right there. How can a man look at Jada and be like, man, you know, you slept with our son's friend? Move on. Besides all that, Jada also talked about they've been separated since when? 2016? They've been separated? Who cares? Maybe I'm gonna be the first one to tell you guys. Who cares? They've been separated for since 2016. Oh my God, the whole world is going to end. Oh wow. So who cares? I mean, do we really have to sit back and talk about the separation between Will and Jada? Really? I doubt it. Because we don't need to talk about it, because there's bigger news out there right now, bigger issues than Will and Jada being separated since 2016. But her book is coming out, and I know a lot of people's going to buy it because they're going to read up on it to see what more details and information they could get from Jada. And another thing, Jada also talked about she used to be a drug dealer and stuff like that. Listen, if you guys want to go and read the book, by means. But me personally, because I'm about to move forward from this whole thing with Jada, and I get it, she needs to promote her new book, so she got to start some controversy and stuff like that. I understand that. I get that. But right now, her story shouldn't be as big as what is really happening right now in this world, which we will get to that in a few moments. But speaking of Jada liking Tupac, with Tupac's situation now, since we all have heard, Keefe D has been arrested since the 1996 shooting in Las Vegas in Caval. I believe it's Caval Street, if I'm not mispronouncing it right. But Tupac was shot in September of 1996, and there has no been arrest. None. The driver of the white Cadillac was Terrence Brown, which they call him T-Bone. The passenger seat was Keefe D. Behind T-Bone was DeAndre Smith. And behind Keefe D would be Orlando Anderson. Now, everybody's saying that Orlando Anderson was the shooter. Keefe D even admit that Orlando Anderson was the shooter. Okay, fine, cool. On the other side of the story, they're saying now that DeAndre Smith was the shooter. Okay. Now we in an impasse. From the story that I got, that Orlando Anderson wasn't the shooter, it was DeAndre Smith, as they say, was because Orlando has to go over Andre, what they call him, Big Dre. He has to really like slant over Big Dre, and then Big Dre pretty much gonna have to scoot way back. Orlando Anderson shots fire at the car. Now, I was looking at a podcast and somebody's made this point, and it was a strong point. And he said that if Orlando Anderson was the shooter, right, and shot across from DeAndre Smith, that means that DeAndre Smith would have gunpowder on his face. No one said that DeAndre Smith had gunpowder on his face. So now, who is the shooter of Tupac? Me, I probably have to stick by to the story, which would be Orlando Anderson. I think that he is the shooter, but it does make sense if DeAndre Smith was the shooter because he was closer to Tupac, which Tupac was in the passenger side in the black BMW with Suge Knight, which Suge Knight was the driver. And to me, it would just make more sense if DeAndre Smith was the shooter because he's right next to Tupac. And if anything, shell cases will go, right straight down to the floor. The gun smoke will be up in the air. But they saying that it might not be Orlando Anderson as the shooter. But in all, they did get somebody. They did call somebody, and which was Keefe D. Now, this is the part where I really want to talk about, okay? Because everybody's saying that Keefe D snitched on himself. Keefe D's this, Keefe D that. Okay. Now, of course, we all know Keefe D's situation, okay? And if I had to re-explain this to you guys, not a problem. All right. So Keefe D, right? For all that don't know and trying to catch up, Keefe D got arrested back in the early 2000s, but it wasn't for the Tupac murder, or was any affiliation of the Biggie murder. None of that. He got arrested for drugs, cocaine, having like pounds of cocaine and stuff. So he was going to jail for a pretty long time. Keefe D. Greg Caden and his partner arrest Keefe D. Take him to the interrogation room. Greg Caden offered Keefe D a proper agreement. A proffer agreement. A proffer agreement is when you can say anything you want and nothing is held against you in the court of law for that one day. Just that one day. You can say, yeah, I killed this person. Yeah, I stole from here. Yeah, I sold drugs from there. You can say whatever you want on the proffer agreement. Just only for that one day. Okay? So, when Keefe D got arrested, for him to avoid jail time, he chose the proffer agreement. So he sat down with Greg Caden and his partner, and he started, talking about, what Keefe D was doing and stuff, his movement. Greg Caden, he was a former LAPD police officer. Also, he took on the case. He actually took on the case for the Biggie murder, but which the Biggie murder was associated with the Tupac murder. So he kind of took on, I guess he took on the Tupac murder more than the Biggie's murder, which I've been saying out loud. Someone please solve the Biggie murder. Please. Please, please, please. Let's get that solved. Jam Master Jay, any other that we still have an unsolved case. Let's get that into light instead of hiding it in the dark. Continuing. So Greg Caden was a LAPD officer, which he took on the case of the Biggie's murder, which crossed with the Tupac's murder. So when when Greg Caden arrests Keefe D, Keefe D agreed to the proffer agreement. So Keefe D started talking. Then he starts telling Greg Caden, Keefe D will start telling Greg Caden about the whole night at Las Vegas after the Mike Tyson fight. So Keefe D lied once. It's it. Like, it's over. It's done. It's finished. So he told Greg Caden everything. He told him who was the shooter. He told him what happened and stuff. But he wasn't indicted. So years goes by, right? Keefe D writes a book. He writes a book about his lifestyle. Also, he writes about what happened that night in Vegas when Pac and Suge were trying to drive to Club 662. Pac waved his hands out. He kind of like, outside the window. Yo, what's up, lady? Because ladies saw Tupac, they're screaming his name, and he jumping out the window, which I felt, in my belief, I felt like that what caught him in that scene. I felt like if that BMW was bulletproof and had tinted windows and Pac wasn't outside the window, I think Suge and Pac would have got to Club 662 safely, more like 100%, I think. But since Pac, being Pac and, yo, what's up, ladies, come to the club, we got 662. They found him. Turned back around. Next thing you know, shots was fired. Now, since Keefe D made the book, then he gets on Death Row Chronicles. BET Death Row Chronicles. Then he pretty much tells it there, right? He's like, yeah, I'm here to tell you the story. And then I think the producer asked him, was Orlando the shooter? And then he's like, yeah. So right there, he just broke his proffer agreement. Now, what some people have to also realize and understand is that proffer agreement and an immunity agreement is two different things. Immunity is when, you can say whatever you want and still no criminals is being charged against you, right? Proffer agreement is that you only could confess on that one day, but you cannot talk outside to no other platforms. You can't write a book about it. You got to stay hush. Keefe D thought that he had an immunity agreement, that he thought that he could write a book about it. He could go out in different platforms and say what he needs to say. Now, another thing. Why did Keefe D start talking? Why? I mean, it's obvious. It's simple. That the man is not, dealing drugs no more. He ain't doing that no more. So he needs money. And the only way for him to get money, well, proper money, is if he goes on podcast platforms and documentaries and start talking about the situation. And they'll pay him for that. Right? Same way Vlad paid for him. 2019, Keefe D gets on Vlad TV for the first time. And he really didn't get into detail on the Tupac's murder. But he did say that he was in the car when Tupac was shot. Of course, he was in the car when the shooting was happening. So he pretty much just set it out on camera once again that he was in the vehicle when Tupac was shot. Okay. Another big problem. Keefe D was the one in that car, in a white Cadillac, that had a gun. Now, he got it from Diddy's boy, Zip. Which Zip, he's gone. He's dead and gone. So, they can't convict him. So, he got the gun from Zip, right? Zip told Keefe D once Orlando was punched by Tupac and the whole Pavu mob, the mob Pavu, got jumped at the MGM and stuff. Keefe D was eating at a restaurant at the MGM. He heard about it, and they all got up and went towards Orlando. And by then, Suge and Pac and the whole crew was heading towards the door. And Keefe was like, yo, this is my nephew. Can't go down like this. But they didn't come in with guns. Keefe and his gang didn't come in with guns. But Diddy's boy Zip came with a gun. So when it was outside, and Zip hand Keefe the gun, Zip said, yo, this is the perfect time to get Pac. And it's deeper than that. They said money was involved. Diddy wanted Pac out because it was causing him headaches and stuff. So there was $1 million. Whatever. That's something. I don't know. That's something that the investigators had to investigate on Diddy to see if that was true or not. But as powerful as Diddy is, I doubt, they're gonna, decriminalize this man. But anyway, so they went out. Keefe D has the gun, and now how did the gun wind up in Orlando Anderson or DeAndre Smith's hand? Keefe D passed the gun. He passed the gun over to Orlando, and they say Orlando Anderson took the gun. He's trying to give it to Big Dre, but Big Dre was like, nah. So he had cold feet. Orlando Anderson said, nah, give me that. So he took the gun. And once again, that story too could be reasonable because, Tupac did punch Orlando. He punched him. He punched Baby Lane. So it's only right if if Orlando was the shooter. But we're still trying to figure this out, right? the gun smoke in the car, Big Dre right next to Orlando's arm while he's shooting at Tupac. There's a lot of conspiracies, but they got an arrest. They arrest Keefe D about what? I'll say about 4.5 years later. They said that they got all the evidence and now it's solved. I think Greg Kading said it best, and I agree with him. He said that it wasn't that the case was unsolved. It was just indicted. And now they got an indictment. And that would be Keefe D. Is it right that they got Keefe D when Suge Knight is the one that's saying free Keefe D? I believe so. And I think what people was looking for was they need like an arrest. Because Orlando Anderson didn't get arrested. He was shot for shooting at a corner pocket blood member. T-Bone was shot at a dispensary in California, and DeAndre Smith passed away from unhealthy issues. Keefe D is the only guy that's remained in that car, and they got him. Now, most would say, well, Keefe should have just stayed quiet. He shouldn't have said anything. I agree. But I guess he got confused with the proffer agreement and the immunity agreement. I think he got confused. But as they say, what's made in the dark will come to light. And that's exactly what happened. So by saying that, I just want to say rest in peace, Tupac. It's been 27 years since your unsolved murder case. The Shakur family, from what I heard, is they're happy that they got some source of closure, but they are still unhappy because the brother is not here. And that I do understand. So they got Keefe D. Let's see what's going to happen to him. Let's see how many, is he going to serve some years? Is he going to be let go? How is this going to play out? I don't know. We don't know, but we will find out eventually. All right. So, but I mean, it's just, like I said, solve the Biggie case too. You know, that's another case that has to be solved as well. And rest in peace to Afeni Shakur. Rest in peace. She's with her son right now. I know Tupac is probably eating some chicken wings, you know, with his mom and all that, but Mrs. Wallace is still here. She's still here. And she's upset that still her son's murder case is unsolved. So who is there to help out solve Biggie's case? That is something that I want to know myself. So let's also get on that Jam Master Jay case as well too. We can't have all these unsolved cases with, and I'm not just talking about just rappers, just from anybody, any black, Spanish, white, Asian, can't have unsolved cases. Because you now bring a closure to the family. And they want closure. They've been dying for closure. I was watching a documentary of Hector Camacho, the boxer, and he was stabbed in Puerto Rico. His mom was fighting. There was times that she said that she couldn't even sleep because her murderer, the man that murdered her son is still out there. He's still out there. And then I remember the FBI agent, there was like years after his death, called back his mother, and they told Hector's mother, we got the murderer, we got the killer, we got him. She was like, oh, thank you, God, I can finally rest. If you watch the documentary, spoiler alert, they didn't catch him. They didn't find him. Let's please get these unsolved cases solved and bring closure to the family. Well, anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and do versus final word real fast. So, I was gonna start versus final word. Well, let me just say this real fast. I know the big news as well that's going on is that Israel, and Hamas is going at it. Shout out to Yanni Levy. He's from Israel, and he was giving me like a lot of information on the history of Israel. And right now, it is very, 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 very horrifying of what we are watching, reading in the news. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, I almost had like some serious, almost like just cry all the way down when they start beheading babies. I mean, I almost just like really just broke down. Because why? Why? Talking about it right now gets me a little bit choked up, gets me a little bit emotional, because it's just why? What did them little kids do? What did them children do? They have nothing to do with this war that you guys going on with Israel and Hamas. They got nothing to do with this. Nothing. And it's dumb that has to suffer. They don't need to. And damn the person, the ambassador, whoever is giving orders to these troops to behead babies. Trust me. Your day will come. It will. And it's going to be a really bad day. But I just pray for the people in Israel. Stop the war. From the words of Bob Marley, love kills war. It's all about love. Love, man. Love kills war. And coming from me, it's like, oh, well, this is all cliche, not really all about loves and rainbows and sunshines and all that. No, but there's people in Israel that wants to live their life in peace. So let them live in peace. From 2001, from the 9/11 attack, going from all the way back in history, from all the terrorist attack. If you notice, it's not doing these terrorist attacks, you're not proving anything. And I'm talking to the ambassadors that causes all these stupid wars because you wanted some money, some land, democracy, or their religion, or this, all because of something that is stupid. Starting a war, killing innocent people for nothing. And you can't show them the video like, oh, look at that woman and that man, that child running for their lives, running for their safety. Because he might laugh. I want to know for the ambassadors, I want to know if we would have beheaded your son or your daughter, if we would have started war with your family, how would you feel? Oh, but you're an ambassador. You have power. Oh, would I kill them? But what if they kill you? That's what they're thinking about right now. They're innocent people. They're trying to live their lives. Leave them alone. I'm not going to the whole history of Israel and Hamas, okay? I'm not going into deep detail. I wish Yanni was here so Yanni could give you guys the information that you guys need. But I'm not going to be the one. But what I am going to be the one is to say, stop the hate and continue to love. Let's make peace. That's the only way that we could walk through life easily, is by peace. My prayer goes out to the people in Israel, and from any type of horrifying moment that they got going on, my prayers goes out to you guys. Please stay strong. please, just stay strong. But anyway, now, can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Versus final word. Anyway, versus final word is real quick and real simple, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I had a great time with Yanni Levy. I had a fantastic time with that guy, man. We took some great photos. He told me some great stories. And I want to give a huge shout out to Yanni. I want to give a huge shout out to Michael. And I also want to give a huge shout out to Andrew Kim. He was a guy that did my photos as well. So he was a fantastic man. A guy who was like bop, bop, glock, 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 glock. So one thing I learned is that doing photo shoots to me is therapeutic, because it's like you get to have fun. You get to enjoy yourself. You get to be a character. And also when you edit the photos and stuff, you get to be like, okay, what is this character all about? What is this character trying to say? So it's just so like intriguing to do these photo shoots. This is my third photo shoot, and I'm going to keep doing more. I'm going to keep going doing more photo shoots. And the same way I'm going to keep doing more videos. And as well, I'm going to do more music as well, too. I have this song called Won't Miss. It's an R&B song. So I'm, going to try my best and finish it up. And for versus final word, I just got to say is be great at what you do. And ladies and gentlemen, that was hashtag. You know what? Ladies and gentlemen, I don't even got my theme song on. Give me a second. Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for the hashtag The Versus Show. And I thank you for viewing. I thank you for subscribing and liking and pressing that bell, because these 3 things. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and press that bell at the same time. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you so much. I really do. Thank you very much for your subscription, for your viewership, for your likes. And keep watching this podcast. You got to keep going. You got to keep listening, because you know why? It's the best podcast around. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the Versa. And also, too, I will see you Monday. I will see you next Monday, because Versa will be at Atlantic City coming today. I gotta leave today. Atlantic City, I gotta leave today. I just finished a photo shoot. Now I gotta go to Atlantic City. I don't stop. I won't ever stop. Because you know why? I'm the Versa. And I'm the great. Just like you are. And ladies and gentlemen, I gotta leave you with these words. Peace into the Middle East. Hashtag The Versus Show is produced by Vintage Era Production.